Hey y'all, I'm steady fixing my hair in the camera because I chopped it off. We got a little bob going on. We starting off fresh, starting new. We are a new woman. Welcome back. This is episode 2 of the She Decided podcast. If you do not know, now you know my name is Maiya, aka Maiya. On all platforms, my information will be down below if you are streaming from YouTube. And if you are not, it is spelled Maiya, because my mama wanted to be different with spelling the name Maya. Okay. But first things first, before we get started in this episode, I want to lead us in prayer. You know the drill. If you don't know, now you know. We got to give God the glory because this is his podcast. So if you are not driving, be so kind to bow your heads and close your eyes, and let's get started. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you today and we thank you. We thank you for traveling mercies to this studio in the first place. We thank you for the listeners who are tuning into this podcast on today. I pray that I am a vessel, that you speak through me, that your spirit guides me and guides my words and blesses the woman who needs to hear exactly what I have to say today. Lord, please guide us to the next best thing as we continuously decide for better, not just more, for better, because it's not about accumulation. It is about the quality of the efforts that we put into aligning with your will. And so I thank you for all that you've done and all that you will do. And I know today is going to be it for her, whoever she is. It is in Jesus' name I pray. Amen, amen, and amen. Hey, girl, hey. Girl, this is the episode for your ASS, all right? Because it is in a lot of our business. I just want to put that out there. It is talking about breaking generational curses, learning to unlearn. This is why we in therapy, y'all, for the millennials. Yes, I am. And for the ones that's not, learn from us. Learn what not to have to do. And yes, I said have to do because in our minds, somewhere along the way, we thought we had to follow a certain way of living. And the world is changing every single day, babe. Today, I want to talk about the women who came before me specifically and why me healing myself is actually me healing them. Ooh. This is a very, very touchy subject. And it's giving me chills just talking about it, but I'm actually feeling really good today. The reason I say that is because I plan on going in depth, yes, about the traumas and the victories that I have endured with healing. I'm going to talk about losing your identity, not trusting your own 2 cents, your own voice, and what it actually feels like to finally be seen. Let's get into it. I want to set the scene. I am 12 years old, 12 or 13, one of them. I'm at my best friend's house. My best friends are twins. Shout out to Angelique and Ashley. Hey, girl, hey. My sisters to this day. I am at the twins' house and we are playing fashion show. I'm standing at the top of the stairwell, waiting to strut my little stuff down the stairwell, wearing 2 small heels. The twins go before me. They doing the thing and their mama just cheering them on. Woo, 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 woo. And when it's my turn, my heart, literally, girl, heart is pounding. I'm like, why am I so scared? Like, this is not that serious, right? And so they're like, come on, Maya, come on, girl. And as I'm going down the stairs, it's my turn. I'm going down. Girl, shoulder slumped, head down, one hand on the hip, the other hand stiff as a board. And I am literally hiding in plain sight, going down this stairwell. And the twins' mama shouted out so loud, "Bomb!" I'm trying not to scream in y'all ear right now. She screamed out, "Bomb! Do it again. Go back to the top of the stairs. Nope. Wrong. We not doing this." Girl, when I tell you I'm embarrassed, I am like, oh. Not only did I not want to be seen in the first place, but I am quite literally shrinking and everyone sees me doing this, and how humiliating, right? And so she says, "Maya, go back at the top of them stairs. Get it right. You better strike. You better work." And I don't know what came over me, but the hand went on that little hip and I popped it out for what it was worth at 13. Okay. I was a baby. All right. Popped it out for what it was worth. 13, shoulders back, chin held high. And I walked down each step, glancing at each step I took to make sure I did not fall on my face. And I worked. And when I went down them stairs, the screams and the shrieks and the claps and the oh my God, look at hers made me feel invincible. Now, I say this to say, for the little girl who was not seen or who is not seen, a moment like that, my goodness, makes her everything, because for once in her life, she is getting the accolades, the praises, the claps, the cheers that she never thought she would get. And in that moment, the twins' mom had no idea that she had set that bar for me, 12 or 13 years old. And I never forgot it, and I never will. Shout out to you, Miss Danielle. You still the bomb, girl. Still the bomb to this day. Girl, I did not have my own identity growing up, which is a big part of my healing process and therapy to this day. Growing up, I was within my mother's shadow a lot of my life. My mother's name is Dawn. Shout out to you, DP. Okay, I love you, girl. Dawn is a very strong, independent woman who don't take no. If you know my mama, you know my mama. And my mama is Mrs. Get Her Done. But the thing about my mama is she performs within her masculine energy. First of all, I want to say that me and my mama are actively healing and within a healed place for me to be able to say this to this day. So, ain't no shade, no tea. Don't be calling her talking about, oh, Maiya on this podcast talking about you. Watch your mouth, mind your business. I am healing with my mother. Okay, now, I love her to death. But there is a softness that my mother lacks that I have been working so long to obtain. Taking the story back to the adolescence, my mom was running from job to job, trying to take care of us, me and my brothers. I am the only girl and I am the oldest. So you know how that is, eldest daughters out there. And being the oldest, you are mommy number 2. And so from the time that my mom had to run from job 2 or 3 or what have you, I had to step into her shoes. And then when it was time to turn it back onto me, there was never a shut off button. There was always I have to be on, I have to stay on, because my mother is always on. However, in a way, I idolize my mom. And I would view her as like the strong, independent woman who just made things happen, and people like fawned over my mom. Like if she talks, she can grab the attention of an entire room. I can't even explain. My mother is a superwoman. I have no idea how she does a lot of what she does. My mom is that powerful that I have to like ponder how to put it into words. I adore her and I love her so much. Whenever somebody has a problem, I'm the one to call my mama and be like, Mama, this is such and such. This is her problem. How do we fix it? And the thing about my mom is if she don't know, she figures it out. And that is so dope to me. Like, how do you come up with something out of nothing? She's just awesome. And so I tried my hardest to be just like my mama until it did not benefit me. Me trying to be like my mom, in a lot of ways, did not allot the space for me to develop within my own ways, create my own voice, and to know what I liked and what I didn't. And the thing about it is, my mom and I became very codependent of one another to the point where whenever I wanted to step out of her shadow, she simply pulled me back in and said, this way works. And because I could see it based on the proof and the evidence, I didn't dare to step outside of the box. I just followed the ways of Dawn. I did what I was told. Again, going back to being the eldest daughter and being the only daughter and being the oldest child, I had to follow suit because this is how we get by, at least so I thought in my mind. Bringing y'all in for a little bit, I recall me having an idea about something and wanting to make a decision for myself. And my mother disagreed. We were in the grocery store parking lot and I decided to start having a meltdown because I started to feel shunned, like quieted. My voice got smaller. My confidence shrank the less that I was able to vocalize what it is that I wanted and needed in general, no matter how big or small. And the way in which my mama went off on me broke me because not only did I look at her as my superhero, it broke a level of trust because if I am doing all that you asked me to do and I am following your rules and I am following your voice, when it's my turn, wouldn't you be proud to hear what I have to say? Wouldn't you be happy to know who I am? I felt like if I did all the right things, if I followed suit, if I just did what she told me to do, I would be good. And then when it was my turn, I felt shunned. I felt quieted. I felt small. And in that moment, I stopped trusting how I felt with not only my mom, but with a lot of people, because in my mind, no one's going to listen to me. With that, I began to lie. Whenever things would happen, I hate to admit it, but I would give my mom credit. Say, for example, I'm talking to somebody like my grandmother, and I'm telling her something that happened, and she's like, oh, girl, really? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm going with the story. And she's like, where'd you get that from? I was like, oh, my mom. Quick to give her credit for the things that I thought or what I knew. It could be like the smallest of things, right? I would just be like, oh, my mom told me this, or my mom was the one that invited me to do that. She told me that it was okay. Or, I did something really cool one day and my uncle was like, how did you learn that? And to be honest, I was just a smart kid, but I was like, oh, my mom taught me, because I was just so used to falling back on the fact that my mom gave me what I needed. She provided my street smart, just my insight to life. She gave me a sense of fashion. She gave me a certain taste in music. Like, I kept going back to a specific source and not turning inward to say, hey, that's me. That's mine. I like that. I don't like that. I don't want that. I need this. And so I started to lose myself. Like, it's to the point my family started to call me Little Dawn. And I don't think they realized how effective it was on my confidence. Like, being called somebody else sucks. And to be honest, thinking of my twin best friends, them being called each other used to piss them off. They like, how could you not tell the difference? Shout out to all the twins out there. They be like, listen, I'm my own person. And so with me, I was like, I am me. I have so much to say. I feel certain ways. Like, I matter. And I hate to say this, y'all, but growing up and now being a 32-year-old woman, I still find myself advocating for myself to say, hey, I matter. Speaking of matter, I can tell you that going back, how deep we going, y'all? How deep are we going? Okay. I just want to add this tidbit without crying on camera. Listen to your children. Oh, God, I feel it coming. Grab your tissues while you can, girl. Listen to your children. If you don't have children, listen to your nieces and nephews. Listen to them. Have them talk to you. Have them tell you what they like and what they don't. Have them express themselves and create a safe space for these babies to be able to let you know what's going on in their lives. Because for the kids who were not heard and for the ones who did not feel seen, there are a lot of things that happen within adolescence that they're just not able to speak on and express. You take that how you may, but for me, I was not able to express myself. And now I am still actively healing from things that I was not able to voice. Listen to your kids because they matter. Now, I'm going to move forward because I want to take you to high school real quick. I'm going to give you a timeline as far as when I started to notice that I was shrinking. High school. Maiya does not fit within a certain crowd. She simply finds certain friends that she can mesh with, and she blends in. She doesn't try to make any extra efforts to be a part of the cool kids, the loud ones, the flashy ones, the dressy ones. And if you're from the DMV, you already know. I was in high school from 2009 to 2012. I am telling my age. And listen, don't do too much. You know the era. So I'm saying this to say, like, those kids were mean. High school was like, listen, you don't play. You walk in there, you have your best of your best. You are ready. Whether your shoes are fresh, your clothes are clean, like, don't be the laughing stock. And so for me, I just stayed neutral. It was enough to get by. High school is where I started to notice that I would shrink and be meek and play small. I was just your average yellow girl floating through the halls that people would look and go, oh, she's pretty. But, I didn't give too much. I was not like your popular anything. I did not even try to go for any competitions, any captain leadership roles. I just played small. And with that, it got me through. It really was just enough for me. But I always knew that I was made for more. There's a thing that when you feel like you're made for more, and then others around you, especially those that are closest to you, such as your family, or in my case, your matriarchs, When you step outside of the box, step outside of the line of what they're used to, they have a way of like reeling you back in. Like, who do you think you are? You being too grown. You're doing too much. And so for me, I chose the role of, oh, let me stay within my lane. Let me stay within my space. That is so damning. That is so damning. Because there were so many opportunities that I had just within my own life, my own being, to be great, but I doubted it because I didn't want to overexert or to be looked at as a certain way or to be shunned, you know? Moving forward, I go to college and first of all, my situation was different. I'm not going to get too deep, but I did end up going to an HBCU in the beginning, and then I transferred over to a PWI halfway through my college career. Now, first things first, with going to the HBCU, I was seen. You know, it wasn't the best school, and if you know me, you know where I went, and yeah, not too much. But girl, it started me on my way, and I still have friends from that school to this day. Shout out to y'all. I love you so much. I went to the HBCU and I felt seen. I felt heard. I felt valued in such a small little institution. And to be honest, it was like great. And I'm amongst other people of color, and it's not just Black, but of other people of color. And I'm just like, whoa, this is exactly what I needed. However, there was not much mental challenge within that school, so I didn't stay long. I transferred to this PWI. If you don't know what a PWI is, it stands for predominantly white institution, something that I am not used to. I am from DC, aka Chocolate City, rather. This was a culture shock for me. And the ways in which I was treated or not set the scene, or set the tone, rather, for what I was going to get into. Because here we go. I finally found my voice. I found my friends. And I just knew that I was going to, soar. This is a better opportunity educationally. With that, I recall a friend at the time telling me, hey, Maiya, you know that thing you do? And I was like, no. And he was like, you're very strong-willed. And I was like, yeah. He was like, don't do that. And I was like, what? He was like, not too much. Don't do too much. Like here, just chill. If you want to get by, just chill. And I became livid because here we go once again. I'm being silenced. Not too loud, not too much. Soften up. You're a pretty girl. Sit down properly. Cross your legs. Place this scarf over your legs. Not too much skin. Not too much oomph. Too much hip. Too grown. Stay in your place. This is all that I know. This is all that I've grown up in. And for once, I'm coming into myself as a young lady or a young woman in college. And someone tells me this. And boy, did it affect me. We go through all of this, and then we have that vision that we set in the beginning when we set the scene of 12-year-old Maiya with her best friends, feeling seen, feeling heard, feeling included. In 2 small hills, walking down the stairs, and someone telling me, bomp, womp, womp, try again. Do it again. Because you're meant for more. You're built for more. You're a beautiful girl. You deserve to feel seen and heard and included and loved. Do it again, girl. And I do it to the best of my ability. And wow, the exhilarating feeling of just feeling seen. And then you grow up and you go around adults who don't know how to accept that other people are just different from them. They're projecting their insecurities onto you. They're telling you not to be too much, to fit within a box. Again, it's damning. And it was until I decided to say, to hell with you. This is my life. And it's laughable. It's hilarious because why did I ever listen to y'all? Why did I ever take y'all word as law? If we focus in on the matriarchs really quick, taking it back, my great-grandmother is still alive to this day. She is 88. Shout out to Big Grandma. My grandmother was born in 38. My grandmother had first of all, she got married at 15. She had a baby also at 15. Times were different, babe. It was 1954. The first baby that she had was my grandmother. But there's just a certain way of living that is quite different from what we're experiencing today. And I'm saying this to say, when you're hearing from them, hey, be a certain way, do a certain thing, accept a certain love, stay in this box because this is what works. Different timelines, different periods that don't align with me, my way. Breaking the generational curses and just trying something different. Wanting a different type of love just for the fact that somebody loves me does not mean that's enough. Is it reciprocal? Is it what I desire? Is it what I'm aiming for? Is it what I feel will truly last and align with me and what God has for me? Is it several divorces and being like, you know what? Just pick up the next one. It's fine. Life will work out. You'll find them. Do I even want to get divorced? Will I get married? Is it stay loyal for years on end because we've built this thing together and we have to stay because this is what we're told to do. This is law. Loyalty is law. No. Loyalty to myself is law. What I want in life is law. What I don't want in life is law. Breaking generational curses is such a task. Girl, it is a journey, and knowing that you are the one to do it is the craziest job that God could ever give. Oh my goodness. When I learned that I was the generational curse breaker, when I learned that I would have to use my voice more than I was, when I learned that I could no longer shrink and play small, when I came about the Marianne Williamson quote that we all know from Coach Carter, or you can just Google it. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. It is that we are powerful beyond measure. Look it up. It quite literally speaks on shrinking and playing small and not allowing you to silence your voice, knowing that that's not how you walk in the ways in which God has for you. Breaking generational curses, it is a huge task that I have been challenged with, and I want to give myself grace and love with saying that I am doing a good job with what I know and what I do not know. I also do want to give love to my matriarchs and shout out to them because, to be honest, y'all, they was just doing the best with what they knew. But I know better now, and so do you. This new way of being me, being with me, doing things for me. At 32, I started to feel shame because I'm like, what took you so long? You know, first of all, I'm a seer. I have visions. That is one of my spiritual gifts. And a lot of times I can see like future as well as past versions of myself. My life coach at the time helped me to do a visualization, which is pretty much a form of meditation, where she guided me to seeing my higher self. When I tell y'all I saw me living in the house of my dreams, everything was intentional. I'm talking the colors of the house, the pieces of the wood, the layout of the land, the flower beds, the vegetation, the grass, everything. Because I do plan on being intentional, way more intentional in this life. So I'm just setting the scene of like her. And when I came to the house, she came out and she ran to me, grabbed me in her arms and hugged me tight, you know, with the little rock, the left and right rock, like a mom. And I took one good look at her and she was so radiant. Her hugs were filled with warmth, and she felt like the mom that I always wanted. And the best part of all of this is she is me. And she told me verbatim, I'm so glad you're here. I've been waiting for this day for so long. The tears that came to my eyes, y'all, ooh, I wanted to bawl, but I was just as excited as her because, wow, finally, you're here. It's you. And she's like, it's you. She turns the camera to me, or like the vision swaps to me. And in that moment, I looked so dull, but the more she touched me, I lit up. So I feel this sort of shame, like, oh, when were you going to arrive? How long was it going to take? Blah, blah, blah. Like the enemy wants me to think that. But when I tap into that visualization I had with my life coach, oh, baby, that's not what I saw at all. And you know that it's a part of your subconscious that you're tapping into when you meditate, right? If that's how I feel about me, if that is how I view myself, oh, it's time to tap into that. Because it's not even like I have to work to get there. I already am. And it's just about deciding to continue to walk in that way as if I already am, because I already am and you already are. And so I just wanted to encourage y'all today. Walk in your gifts as if you already are. Lead with your own voice because it matters. I understand that we love our family. I understand that we love those who care for us deeply. But at the end of the day, the one person that we got to focus on and listen to is ourselves. How do we feel? What do we want? What don't we want? What aligns? What doesn't? I mean, to be quite honest with you, a lot of the decisions that I make in life, my matriarchs look at me and go, I have no idea what this girl is doing, thinking, what she's planning, like what is happening right now. Because it's not the status quo. It's not the way of their lives. But if I'm being honest with you, I'm being obedient to God and I'm just doing the next best thing. I'm staying keen to his voice as well as what it is that he's telling me, the direction that he's giving me. And I'm just doing it. I want better. Like even with, again, like I showed you my hair in the beginning, I chopped my hair. I was like, I've had hair all my life. Like I'm used to it. I've lived with hair. I want to release something. I want to try something new. I want to step into something different. I want to keep going forward. And that's just a part of the continuous journey. Just doing the next best thing while releasing those that do not benefit you and releasing the things that does not aid in your furtherance towards better. I love y'all so much. I just want you to know that I see you. I want you to know that I hear you. I want you to know that you have a voice. And I would love to know what patterns that you are breaking within your own situations. Are you the generational curse breaker of your family? And if so, let me know in the comments. Let me know through social media. I'm actually inviting people to send me some DMs with some questions or even some statements. Like She Decided is going to have its own page. And so I am going to welcome all kinds of people to send in your questions, send in your statements, and I will be responding to you live within the next episodes and featuring your voice on the show as well. Curses that you are breaking, habits that you are unlearning. Are you in therapy? Are you healing? Because baby girl, I got me a therapist and now I got me a life coach. Like, come on now. Let's get real. Furtherance. That's what I'm saying. We're doing all the things that we need to do to be better. And so with that, I love you all. And once more, shout out to my matriarchs for doing the best that they could with what they had. They didn't know any better. But once again, I do. And so do you. Peace, y'all.